Hey there, YouTubers. It's Jgsf1987. Yeah. I don't know what the Republicans were thinking. Doing that green light for 11 hours? What did they accomplish? Nothing. Their attempts at character assassinating Hillary Clinton just shot them in the foot. Or basically, it killed their chances of getting the presidency in 2016. Now, granted, Hillary does have honesty issues. I don't personally trust Hillary, but again, you can find plenty of reasoning why I feel that way on my blog. That aside, character assassinations are not going to win the Republicans the presidency, no matter how much they think they will. You have to remember, this isn't the 1970s, this isn't the 1980s, this is not the 1990s, it's not the 2000s, it's 2015. Just saying. But people have largely gotten tired of this. I mean, negative politics, people get turned off by this. And it gets to the point that people just don't really feel that engaged, because it's all nothing more than a large scale mud wrestling match basically. Yeah, doesn't know this. Now, as for what I think it'll do, it's very simple. Yeah, it may strengthen Hillary's hand, at least in her trying to play to supporters that saying, oh, look at me, I'm not talking about witch hunt. But in actuality, here's what it is going to do. A lot of Democrats, particularly very liberal and in some cases actually very progressive Democrats, are not a fan of Hillary. They think that she's too cozy to Wall Street and big corporate America, that voting for her is like basically voting for the Republicans. That's how I feel. I personally am a backer of Bernie Sanders. But I agree with her and of all things, yeah, it is a sideshow that is going to come up constantly. The Republicans figure that this is a winning strategy. It's not going to help them. Yeah, it could maybe cost Hillary the nomination if that happens. Hey, then they're going to be dead ducks. As who's the nominee going to be? None other than the junior senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. He is an anathema to everything they oppose. The biggest problem that they run into running against Bernie Sanders, he actually plays well to not just people in the who are basically very liberal Democrats. He wins almost across the board. Think about that. There's no way in heck, unless they start playing the anti-Semitism card, because Bernie Sanders is Jewish. they're not going to get anywhere. They're going to try to say, like, oh, yeah, look at him, he's not even a supporter. How does he even call himself a Jew if he's not even supporting Israel? And it's right to kick out all the Palestinians. Trying to have the who's a Jew debate with an actual Jew, and you're not a Jew, you're asking for trouble. That's funny. That's number one. Number two, Bernie Sanders could easily defeat Donald Trump for the presidency should Donald Trump get the nomination. These are just on current polls. I mean, I looked at them on 270win.com. I'll throw the link on here, so don't worry about it. According to those polls, he beats Trump by about 5 points. Now, I know, for a president, 5 points for any election, for that matter, is minuscule. That's like a lot of people. For a lot of people, that's like a razor-thin margin. Yeah, in a presidential election, based off of our own current, in the current way that ebb and flow as to when people win the majority of the popular vote. The biggest disparity I've maybe seen in my lifetime that I can remember was 2008, where Obama beat McCain by about 7 points. 5 to 7 points. Just in this day and age, it's a pretty comfortable margin. That's a comfortable victory. 5 points, that's pretty comfortable. That's just if the election were held right now. And the fact is, too many people right now don't really trust Hillary. They think Bernie Sanders is the answer because he's the guy with all the ideas. Now, in that case, we need somebody who has ideas. Trump doesn't have any ideas that are workable. The Republicans can't come up with it, are going back to the same policy prescriptions that have gotten us into this mess, saying that that's the solution to getting us out of it. It's not. Raising taxes on the middle class, on the most impoverished, is not only stupid, it's not, look, the simple math of that, it doesn't add up. It's simple math. That's not enough to cover the very wealthiest Americans. It's not enough to cover and pay for their tax breaks. The only way to get the economy to actually really get going is to raise the taxes of the uber wealthy. That's the math, and you give all the benefits of that down to the bottom. That keeps the economy going. You don't give it to the top and think that it's going to come all the way down. No, it doesn't work. We tried that for 3 decades. It hasn't worked. You have to give the perks basically to the center, and it grows outward. Not from the top down. It's from the center out. Or basically from the bottom upward. Anyway, so as I said, that's that. And this is Jgsf1987 out.